At the current rate, apparently equality of pay is only expected to be reached 99 years after the original Act. Now, if that isn't bad enough, as a country, we've also slipped down the world rankings from being the 9th most gender-equal country in 2006 to the 20th now, and Basingstoke is currently one of the worst in the country. Reading is significantly better than Basingstoke, so why is that? Women have the same housing costs and the same living costs, so we need to take this issue seriously, and whilst acknowledging that we as a borough council can't address this issue affecting the country on our own, it doesn't mean that we should do nothing. So what options are open to us here? Can I say that I welcome the government's new reporting legislation that requires employments with over 250 staff to publish gender pay gap information, as hopefully we will start to see some improvement when employers come under more scrutiny. But although the data will be set as at April 2017, employers have until the 4th of April 2018 to publish the first set. I understand that the London Assembly is to publish their results now so that they can start work on any identified issues. Could I ask the portfolio holder if we at this council can consider doing the same, please? And if necessary, could we implement a review of pay by grade if we haven't already done so? I won't go into the various issues affecting the gender gap, as some of them have already been mentioned, and it is, as Chloe said, a very, very complex issue.
In terms of all the statistics that Councillor Ashfield was quoting, I mean, there is a simple truth, I think, and that is that women do not occupy sufficient of the top paid jobs in society. I mean, if they did, the average figures, the disparity between men and women would clearly be somewhat different to what we see quoted here. I don't know why it's the case in Basingstoke, and that real anomaly does need further investigation. All I seek to do, I think, this evening really is within the work that the committee may do, and we may do elsewhere, is to add into that equation some fresh analysis of this organisation itself, Basingstoke Council, because I think it would be important that we re-examine our own establishment, our own employment practices. Recently, and I say this openly, at an HR committee, I, with the small support that I had on the day, pointed out what I saw as a disparity in regard to a recent list of applications for the new director post, where the simple fact is, out of the applications received, only 18% of the applicants were women. Now, there may be many reasons for that, and all the competent women on the committee pointed out to me, well, if we can make it in this world, then other people can. We don't need any special treatment. Now, I say it goes much deeper than that, and I think we need to examine a number of things. And a number of key organisations have done what I think are very positive things in terms of the way they reassess their own requirements for the organisation. Looking again, for example, at the job requirements for senior leadership posts, expanding applicants' pools wherever they can, and obviously there are professional organisations that can assist with that. The job applications themselves, I mean, a benefit, I think, where they're submitted without names and gender, so that we start from that position in regard to the assessments that are made. And I think some really serious work, even beyond what we claim to have done already in regard to work-life balance. And the sort of conditions that apply in regard to women within the workplace. So all I'm saying, I think really, all of the preamble that's been given, and if the work is adopted by the committee, I'm sure there are lots of good things that can come from that. But I don't think we should be immune from that analysis. I think we should embrace that, take that on board, and see what we can do to improve the situation within Basingstoke and Deane Council.
I thought it best to speak on behalf of someone who works in the tech sector, which has been in the news for all the wrong reasons recently. Tech firms are the bleeding edge of innovation. Many originated in the Silicon Valley, and one might be forgiven for thinking that they would embody the perceived liberal values of the state of California in the workplace, but the reality is far from it. Recent experiences with Uber lift the lid on an industry that is culturally trapped in the dark ages, with a report last week of a manager hiring a female applicant in Uber attempting to defend his company by saying sexism is systemic in tech. Needless to say, the applicant did not apply for the job. Tech firms pay well, but they suffer from a lab coat culture of long hours, and I've done a lot of those, a hard hat culture of vulgarity,